Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Mazezoki, and I welcome you to this evening broadcast. I welcome you to this evening broadcast with interesting news and things that we're going to review. We will start with leadership. Leadership, they say, like Chinua Achebe wrote in his book of 1984 titled The Trouble with Nigeria. The Trouble with Nigeria is a book that, if you haven't read it, it's like a pamphlet. I would advise that you go read it. It's a very small book, but it encapsulates what leadership is all about and the trouble with Nigeria. In that book, the the book says that the issue with Nigerian leadership, issue with the trouble with Nigeria is squarely that it falls on the feet of leadership. Having said that, people, today a couple of things happened. Today I'm going to show us this evening how P2B rescued stranded Nigerians on the Benin road. And I'm going to bring someone who was with him as that event, as that incident today happened, to also hear from the horse's mouth as to the real story behind the trending news. If you go to Twitter now, that is what has been trending this in the last couple of hours. Hence, we have made it a topic for discussion this evening. And we're going to also look at the case between the Falana family, that is Fals, and Femi Falana and the daughter, against VeryDarkMan. Today, the court has said that VeryDarkMan will pay a fine of 500 million for defamation. Recall when the incident, or rather when this started, people like myself said, when the Falana family offered him the route of saying an apology, I said, if I were him, if I was in his shoes, I mean, I would, there is a way you can you can tell your words and you can say that I am sorry, but that's not what I meant, because that statement, that so-called innuendo that he made, took away everything that was supposed to be happening, right? Took away everything that was supposed to, it took away the meat of that revelation. It moved the attention away from the core issue. And the core issue was basically that this lady that, yeah, I don't know what I call him, a lady or a man. This man or lady, the Bob the Risky, who was supposed to be in jail, he was not in jail, or he didn't go to jail. So, but that again, it's a matter of choice. Now let's start the following. Earlier today, P2B was on his way to Kogi, as I heard, and there was this commotion where the Nigerian police was accused of shooting the tires of a truck driver, and the truck driver parked his vehicle, and obviously there was commotion. The road was not clear. Let me bring someone here. I believe maybe audio might be the best. Okay, I have Dr. Mo, Mad Mo, on the line here with me. Dr. Mo is joining me. I don't know the location now. Mo, are you able to tell us the location where you are now?
Yes, we just arrived Alka right now from Kogi State. So I'm in Alka as we speak right now.
Okay, you are in Oka. You people have come back from Kogi already. I thought you guys are going to sleep over in Kogi.
Well, this is how we roll. It's been yesterday. The journey began from Onitsha, across, and then we had to move through through Alka down to move through what was it called now through Otupo branch, went through Enugu, and yes, cut across all that zone before we got to Anyimba today, and then we had to come back. And I mean, we can talk about that because it took almost 8 hours because of the bad roads and network.
Well, before we get to the meat of the matter, let's first of all discuss about the road. We read from the pages of the newspapers that the current administration is almost finished fixing all the roads in that axis. So, how are the roads? Can you testify to the goodness of the road network?
As a matter of fact, I'll be doing a tweet to that effect. Like I said, it took us 7 hours just to drive through from Oka through Enugu, the connecting road between Enugu and what's it called now? Otupa branch in Benue State. Yes. To that path alone, what you have is a death trap of potholes and gullies. I lack words to describe the what's it called now? That's not even a road. It's a dangerous trap that we have to drive through. That's how bad it is, and this reiterates what Mr. Peter Obi has been saying about the importance of fixing the existing interconnecting roads within the cities, within the states, rather than embarking on frivolous, bogus, it's really, really, really sad and pathetic to say the least, considering, the death traps that we had to go through. It took 7 hours going and the same thing back.
Hold on. From okay, you guys left Onitsha today, or okay, you guys left Oka.
At some point, you don't even know what to expect anymore.
Okay.
People are actually calling. That's why you're having the breakage. They're trying to see whether we're just getting right now into the hotel. Since we left. You can imagine that we left. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So we left here at about 5 a.m. in the morning. Yes. And then we got to Anyimba at about 1 o'clock.
Where is Anyimba? Which
Anyimba is in Kogi State.
Okay.
You have to go through Enugu, go through Benue, cut across Otupa branch, then you go through Olamaboro, where we had the stopover, and then before you connect through Ejule, and you get to Anyimba in Kogi State.
Okay.
So it's 7 hours to go for a journey that should not be more than 2.5, 3 hours, but because of the bad road network that exists, there are practically no roads at all. We have to go in through gullies, through potholes, through jungles. That's what we have. So we have no interconnecting roads, to say the least.
Okay. Let me, before we, as the people are hearing you now, because this is a live program, and a video is playing, a video you made that video, and we can see a truck, a blue truck, blocking the road. Can you walk us through the story? What actually happened there? I can see you and Chief Peter Mayor and His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi in front with some security men. So was it that you guys walked into an ambush, or what's happening? Can you walk us through the picture?
So by the time we crossed through Nile Mile and we got to Tupa branch and we veered off, and then we started going towards where we were passing through the local government called Olamaboro and heading towards Ejule to connect. That's when we saw it was a long queue of trailers and cars. The whole place was a stampede. It was completely blocked. And the security people now went ahead. They had to walk almost where a trailer completely blocked the road completely, because before we arrived there was an incident where the police patrol people shot through one of the tires of the trailer, and therefore the trailer driver said he wasn't going to move, and they've been there for over an hour begging him. And then, of course, you can see that to the south there was a lot of hold up, and down to the north, coming complete stampede. There was no single movement, and without saying anything, just when the escort people had called to tell PO that, well, at this juncture we might have to go back because there's no any other road. His Excellency just walked out of the car, beckoned on me and Chief Ame, and took a walk straight. The moment he was told exactly what happened, he took a walk straight and went straight to the scene and asked who was the driver. It was commotion, but the moment at the sight of His Excellency, it was almost crazy. The Doma people, the Gala people, the Hausa people, the Yoruba people, the Igbo people just started chanting. Some people started saying, "Our president," without talking to anybody. The whole place just started chanting and shouting, and just, because for them it's like Savior has come, deliverance has come. Somehow everybody just believed the fact that His Excellency is here, that they're going to, the salvation, has come. And true to type, he walked up to the driver man, who happens to be from the Hausa man from northern Nigeria, and it was so shocking when His Excellency started talking to him and begging him that to tell him what to do after he narrated his story.
Okay, now we've seen the video of that. There is a video that is, that Hausa is spoken here. I would want you to please explain to our viewers, because I believe that video was also shot by you. If I play a couple of seconds of that video, you would understand the video in question. Can you hear that? I believe, hold on, I believe that was the driver in question. Yes, the guy on gold top and with a face cap. I believe he was the driver in question. So what was that conversation there?
That was after everything was done and we wanted to leave. And so, in fact, he had wanted to give a testimonial. And so I just rode up the boat and he started talking and saying that before then he had told His Excellency that, he feels that who is he that His Excellency will have to beg. So he was more than willing to struck off the road because His Excellency has approached him. But then he was now narrating to me exactly what happened, and that if His Excellency hadn't come there was no way he was going to go. Because number one, he doesn't own the truck. Number two, the tire that was busted, was shot at, is going to cost about 450,000 for which. That is going to be sent to him, but he now disclosed because His Excellency also.
I can see the guy is showing an envelope with some words of money. So that is the money that P2B gave him just to help him replace his tires. Okay.
Absolutely.
Now,
and Mr. P2B is still going to send some money to him because I have his account details, to ensure that all the issues and the new truck tire is bought.
So now, moving from someone who was willing to lay down his life, that he was not going to go anywhere, the police should kill him, and he's blocked the road for over an hour because his tire was shot at, and suddenly seeing P2B now agreeing without further argument and happily move his car, what the police couldn't do, he was able to move his vehicle or the truck in question. So, here, it's an incredible story, don't you think so?
You need to see there is no way any video can express I don't know, the magical moment that we felt being there. You know, like you rightly said, number one, even if he wasn't offered anything, just at the sight of His Excellency Mr. Peter will be coming to talk to him, he was willing to face whatever consequences he was going to face because he said that. And then secondly, the fact that His Excellency already gave him some lots of money there and also promised to do much more because of the stance he already took. And the education of all Nigerians at that spot. That was the energy and the essence was something that you can't put in words, to be honest, And you saw that within seconds, this whole marriage of blockade, was cleared up. It became just one unity fountain that was born in that place. This was the magic, the moment, that happened today with Mr. Peter will be right there. That's
what looking at that video, I can say it's an incredible story that you guys left Oka heading to. Where were you headed to? Benue or Kogi?
We're headed to Kogi. We're going to Anyimba. We're headed to the School of Nursing in Anyimba, where His Excellency was there about 3 months ago. We were there. I was there with him 3 months ago, where he went, spoke to them with a million naira. And you remember the Archbishop there, and the proprietor, they had called me. Stopping the School of Nursing from getting its accreditation was a boss. And so going there back to fulfill that promise that he made, to them. I mean, he got a boss of about, not the new boss, but he got a boss of about 30. He made a presentation today with an additional 5 million then to do the papers and ensure every other thing that is required is done for the next 1 year. So that was a mission that was taking us to the School of Nursing in Anyimba.
But I also learned that yesterday because checking on your Twitter page yesterday, you guys
where Mr. Peter will be donated 50 million naira. Another 10 million to them, and also went to the university because there's a nursing school inside the university where he also gave them another donation of 10 million.
So we're talking about 70 million yesterday, 30 million today, for the bus, and last week there was some donation to I don't know, some hospitals and schools again, about 120 million. Right. Where are they see this? Where are they see all this money?
I wish I can ask His Excellency right now.
I won't ask them, where did they see this money? Tell them say I don't like it. So where are they see this money? This time Wahala with this. 70 million yesterday, 30 today, last week 150. Only know they pay now. Anyway, I mean, honestly, incredible footage from your Twitter page, where the bus in question is the white bus, right? Poster, okay, the white poster bus. Wow. This is incredible. I mean, I can see how happy the students were. in this school in Kogi, where you have a coming together of Nigerians. You have I believe you may have Igbos there, Yorubas, Hausas, Efik, Ibibio, Igbo. It doesn't matter. At this point, what mattered to them is that they finally have a boss that they can use to do whatever it's needed for. Like I see them taking selfies. You guys are working freely, just mingling with the students.
He was marginalized socially. Despite of not being almost perceived as, he was not and one employed and amongst like the community and the community connection. He has been around and has all of that around
Mm. Okay, Dr. Mo, thank you very much for that explanation. I'll be letting you go now and let me hello to everybody. Well, that's a very fine place to leave that call. So, people, you can see that was uh, Dr. Moses Paul Moses, who was with His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, as that incident in Benue State happened, where the Nigerian police shot at a truck, and the tire got damaged to the point that the driver himself said he was going nowhere. At that point, when the security agencies told him, they think that they think it's better they go back and take another route. And he said no, he was going to go and speak to them. They are Nigerians, and he did. And at the end of the day, we have seen the outcome. The outcome is very palatable, and Nigerians are very happy that that happened. If you look at the video you're looking at now, is a young man whose truck was shot at and the tire burst. As you can see him now, um, I was made to understand that to fix the tire was about 250,000 naira. And, as a good gesture, Toby gave him
amma wane ne ya
50,000
zo
naira cash,
ya
which
taimake ku
he
a nan haka?
received and explained as he bought it back. Afterwards, it was promised that he will give 200,000 to be sent to him via his account
Kuma kuna nan tuntuni ba kwai na hanya
as
block.
that tire fixed. Now, according to Dr. Mo, the young man here
So an mashi
is
godiya ba?
a northerner from the Hausa tribe.
Min
What this shows us that doing good, and that when humanity is at play, knows no culture, knows no sex, knows no religion, knows no tribe. I mean, if you ask me, that's what humanity should be, and that should be applauded. So, people, that's on that plan. Now, if we move from this, we're going to go into the case between the VDM, that's a very dark man. As you all know, very dark man has been accused by the Falaners. They said, that he slandered the name of Femi Falana. In this report, you can see here says Bobrisky court fines activist, very dark man, 500 million. 500 million. Man, 500 million is not, it's definitely not a small amount of money. And let's go through the story and actually find out what happened. Court fines a very dark man 500 million naira for defaming rapper Falz and his father, Femi Falana. The Lagos State High Court has ordered social media critic Martin Otse popularly known as VeryDarkMan, to pay 500 million in damages to human rights advocate Femi Falana SAN and his son, musician Folarin Falana, popularly known as Falz. This is a court presided over by Justice M.O. Idowu, ordered him to delete defamatory statements and videos against Falana. The court decision followed a series of posts made by Otse on September 24th, 2024, in which he linked Falana to cross-dresser Bobrisky, which Idowu stated that the comments were defamatory and injurious to Falana and his son public reputation. So if we look at this is the court document in the Ikeja Judicial Division holding at Ikeja, today being the 14th day of October, that was yesterday, and this is the certified true copy. In this, the order is very simple, an order of interim preemptive remedy by this honorable court, restraining the defendant, his agent, privies, and or anybody from further circulating or publishing any defamatory video comments about the applicant, and to bring down the defamatory videos through comments about the applicant published on the 24th of September 2024 on all his online social media handles and pages, pending compliance with the pre-action protocol of this honorable court. An order granting leave to the application to serve the pre-action bundle originating process and all court proceeding between parties hearing the defendant by substituted means through his lawyer Deji Adeyanju Esquire of Deji Adeyanju partner at Terrace Block 4, White Diamond Estate, Makuru Street, off Embu Street, off Aminu Wuse 2, Abuja, of somebody here. But the like I said before, the case is very straightforward. As it is, you all know that very dark man, very dark man has obviously made this video that he made. I had said it before. If I were in his shoes, one could. If I was in his shoes, one could actually be very circumvent in some of the postulations that he made. Obviously, he could have played that audio again without belabeling the issue here. I believe he could have played that audio without necessarily, making such, the insinuations he made. I believe Fowles got, um, you know, really ilked by that insinuation, as if Fowles is in the same league with Bob Risky. And when he was given the opportunity to retract and apologize, I had advised in his shoes, there are times you don't, if you're on air or if you have the camera on, there are things you may say at that point that may not, in your view, may not necessarily come out to be something too wrong, but on a second thought, could actually have been injurious to someone. If such comes your attention, I mean, it's right, proper, and tried for retractions to follow immediately. But in this case, it appears that did not happen. Hence, what we then have now. Okay, so I honestly believe that maybe I don't know how Deji was going to advise him, but if you ask me, I think he should soft pedal a little bit and just issue whatever it is. If not, they are going to see in court. Deji might want to. I mean, I understand that Falana once defended Deji and Sowore, the way he defended Fela Nicola Bokuti and Shehu Kuti. It's quite interesting that if this is not settled, you will find out someone who has been defending Deji Adeyanju would probably have to appear in court with the man he once defended. Wow, what an what an interesting twist, and as things are. So again, if you have any question on these issues, you can drop your comment. And sadly, the comments are for those who have, subscribed to Ninja Media. It just 1 minute. Click on the subscribe button. You should be able to type your comments just in 1 minute. Okay. So if you haven't liked this video, please, please, please like, share, and subscribe. I beg you, like, share, and subscribe. Now to the cocoa of the matter. As you all know, the Super Eagle, they have had a match with Libya a couple of days ago in Uyo, and after that match, Nigeria was to do their return leg in Libya. But since then, the internet has been awash with the maltreatment of the Nigerian team to the point that Nigeria pulled out of the game, came back to Nigeria. I believe that was yesterday, right? Nigeria had to come back. I think a value jet was sent to go pick them up, and they landed in Kano from Libya. Since then, there's been accusation and counter accusation as to what led to the whole madness. Now, to start with, if we take a step backwards, we can start with this is a video published by the Libyans accusing Nigerians that this was what they did to them, right? So let's listen to the Libyan side. What we are going to do today is not because I'm a Nigerian. I'm not going to take side, but we're going to review the facts that we have. If you want to ask questions afterwards, you're free to. So let's take the Libyan side, then we'll come to Nigerian side and also hear what the Nigerian people who are informed in this are saying and what the Nigerian authority is also saying on this matter. Hear the Libyans out first.
Upon the arrival of our Libyan national team to the airport, which is about 250 kilometers away from the city where the match is being held, we are surprised by the team's mission being stopped and delayed at the airport and searched for about 4 hours in the first quarter, and then passports are taken in the second quarter and questionnaires are filled out in the third quarter. Upon completion of the procedures, everyone is surprised that there is no one at the reception from the Nigerian Football Federation, and there is no suitable and sufficient transportation, nor even a security escort, to ensure the mission's arrival to its residents. These matters are supposed to be considered basic protocols in hosting sports missions. A car was also rented to transport the bags and equipment, but its engine broke down on the way, and the driver refused to act and join the mission unless he was given double the agreed upon fee at the beginning. In addition, negotiations were held with security agencies to protect the team for a fee, and after that, we headed towards the residence via an unknown dirt road through the forest and not main paved roads. Not only that, the mission was also subjected to several stops by bandits demanding money in exchange for crossing, and the security patrols told us that they would take shortcuts. And unfortunately, the roads were bad, tiring and dark with no lighting. The trip lasted for 5 hours. 5 hours of tension, anticipation, and fear. Despite these circumstances that the national team faced, the players and staff insisted on playing the match, fighting and playing with honor. This is just a little of a lot.
So this is the Libyan side of the narrative, right? And the Nigerians are really not finding this funny. Nigerians are basically saying, why would Libyans do this? Initially, the storyline is that, oh, you did this to us. Apparently, that's what that's what they've done. If you didn't treat us right, then in our own country, we're not going to treat you right. That's what everybody will thought about until video evidences and information start coming out earlier today saying that this is not true. Actually, there are videos online saying this is how they moved. But the main thing was that the Libyans were supposed to fly directly to Uyo, but for some reason, they decided to fly into Port Harcourt, and they only know about that they are in Port Harcourt a couple of minutes before they landed in Port Harcourt, because they didn't know ab initio when they were leaving that they were going to fly in Port Harcourt. The communication was fly into Uyo. The match is going to be in Uyo. We will receive you in Uyo. Then you play the game in Uyo, which again made sense. Now, there was this pilot who flew the Nigerian team to Tripoli. Sorry, who flew the Nigerian team to Libya. Actually, a pilot, look at him here. The pilot now, on his own, is explaining that when he left Nigeria with the Nigerian team, the airport they were supposed to land to play this game, that they were diverted by the Libyans to go to another airport, to the point that he was almost running out of petrol. In fact, some Nigerians are calling the actions of the Libyan government now, or Libyan Football Federation, or Libyan whatever football club or association or whatever they are called. So Nigerians are now insinuating that this is actually an attempted murder. Hear the pilot out, what he has to say.
In the other airport.
In the event that your company is asked to provide evidence, will you be able to avail?
Yes. All the evidences are in all is documented in aviation. We cannot hide anything. This is our flight plan, so we cannot say something which is not wrong, because there is a lot of cross check and a lot of redundancy in aviation. So they cannot hide this information or say other than the truth. The truth was we was going to Benghazi, and I can show you also
They were originally planned to go to Benghazi. The flight log, the flight man, everything. Because when you are living now, you see, the aviation industry is a place where you see, as he said, a lot of redundancy, a lot of reputations. People will think, oh, why this reputation? But it's for a reason, for security reasons. Mr. A will cross-check, is this airplane actually going to Benghazi? Another person will say, is this plane actually going to Benghazi? So that by the time 4 or 5 people would confirm the same thing. So in what he's saying, you can't make it up, you can't lie, there is nothing you can basically do about it. So let's hear him.
evidence of the approval. I have it.
Captain, don't worry.
Yes. So after that, they changed their mind, and at the last minute, they changed the airport. Even the airport was not. It's like a domestic airport. It's not.
You see, at the last minute, the Libyan authorities changed the airport authorization that they can land in. No longer the original airport in Benghazi that they were to land when they left Nigeria. Secondly, you can hear him clearly here when he said that the airport is actually not of international standard for them to land, because there is no instrument landing system, the ILS system. There is no landing lights, and they were coming in at night. It felt like, during the Biafran War, when they were operating at Uli Airport, when people had to land at night blinded, or before when it feels like landing at Ekiti Airport or the old Enugu Airport when there was no instrument landing system where you need to use only your common sense. There is no guide, no light. I mean, this is like a planned murder to go waste the whole team. I mean, it's scary when you listen to what the pilot itself was actually saying.
Airport was not. It's like a domestic airport. It's not. It's not well equipped. There is no ILS, no air nav approach, no VUR. So we make it visually to be able to land, because in case of go around we cannot go anywhere. So it was our first and last chance.
And I heard that you've been in.
Did they hear that? If anything had gone wrong, they couldn't go anywhere. It was their first, the last chance, and the only chance. If they had hit the tarmac and anything had gone wrong, they can't take up again. There is nothing. It's come on. It's this. If this doesn't scare you, and I hopefully that probably the team didn't know about it when they were in
In that area before. Was that problem
Yes,
helped you?
yes. Thank God I worked there for 2 years with Tunisian company, so I know the area very well, and it was not an easy matter at all.
Thank you very much for talking
So,
to us.
when a pilot will hear to me, he will understand that it was not an easy thing to land by night, visual approach with marginal weather, without ILS, without air nav approach, and without VOR.
Thank you.
You see, I think Nigerians must thank this pilot for saving the lives of Nigerians. That's the simplest way to put it. Nigerians must thank this pilot for saving the lives of Nigerian football, Nigerian footballers, Nigerian team. He said that he is lucky, or they are lucky, that he had worked at that airport for about 2 years, which helped him to actually know how to operate on that terrible environment and airport without no ILS, without no guide, no landing lights, just basically flying blind, total. But he was able to make it. Now, as the thing goes back and forth, some people who were involved in the game in Uyo and who understands how these things are done, people are beginning to speak up, like this young man who actually also explained in his own terms what actually happened. Listen.
Good morning, my people. As usual, I have to react to one or two things. Woke up this morning to see that to see the video of the pilot, the Tunisian pilot, stating what happened. He wasn't allowed to land with the limited fuel he had. He requested 8 times to land, and these people diverted him to a far airport. And that airport wasn't even the nearest location because of an emergency. This is an attempted murder. That's the way I see it. So imagine how I'm feeling now. I was with the players throughout the last week. We played the same team, Libya in Uyo. Left them on Saturday. And then I'm hearing all these things on Sunday and Monday. People have to come correct on this one. The airport they even diverted us to first of all, let me actually read the rules for you guys. The rules about competition fair play. Article 16.14 of the regulations provides that if there's an international airport in the city where the match will be held or near the city by less than 200 kilometers, and if the visiting team wishes to land directly at this airport, the host association must facilitate all formalities for entry. The airport they landed us is about 225 kilometers from Benghazi.
And not even an
They
international.
have failed that one in the rules already. If they say that we didn't even land them in Port Harcourt, they landed on their own in Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt is 143 kilometers from Uyo. They landed themselves. You now diverted our plane with the exact amount of fuel we had to land in Benghazi. We had all the papers, everything. You landed us in a far airport. It's attempted murder, if you ask me. Then, I've seen some journalists, we are tweeting, supporting Libya in a way. Libya was standing with their own country. You are forgetting that a colleague of yours died last weekend on his way to Uyo to cover this game.
Yeah, Anambra.
Some of your colleagues were kidnapped
in Anambra
on the same journey. But you are supporting other people. Your colleagues also went with the team. So your team, your countrymen, officials, everybody, your colleagues with the team were being held stage in a foreign land. It did not alarm you. We did it first. Did what first? What do you know? You see, this thing about being. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. A hostage situation. You're just wasting lyrical online. Some of you journalists, some of you citizens talking nonsense. It was a clear hostage situation. They broadcast. I don't know if you've seen Mr. Lulu Sola and Snap. They brought camera. You know when you watch movies and then they bring camera and say talk hostage for ransom. That's what it looked like. It looked like a hostage situation. The NFF president or officer had to chase them away. They brought camera. They knew what they were doing. They endangered the lives of my people. CAF, you have to come correct on this one.
You see, I think, we must all condemn evil when we see one. I think what Libya did, obviously, on their way to Uyo, Nigerians, from their own complaint video, you may have seen. Let me put that while I speak. You may have seen the distant here, people who.
Upon the arrival of our Libyan national team to the airport,
when they were heading to you, at the point where some locals or local gangs, which is normal. I mean, any Nigerian knows that Agbero is on the road. You know that even in some Niger Delta communities, they are even more, especially when when you go through some of the alleyways that is not the express. I had the misfortune one day driving from Owerri to Port Harcourt, and I was following my sat nav. I was using a GPS, and GPS took me inside one community. Wallahi, I'm glad I wasn't kidnapped that day. Because there are some areas I will come, I will see young men. Everybody will just stand up. They will use bamboo to cross the road, just bamboo stuff, so that when you come in, you slow down. And they will have these big milk cans. They will have it on the side, filled with, I don't know, either diesel or whatever, but something black, and be burning it, even during the day. Sit down there drinking our patashi with machete in their hands. So you come in, some of them, if you come out, you see where they wrote Nupeng, sometimes something like Nupeng or Pengas, and some, had to do with oil. Probably these guys are waiting for the bigger tankers who were conveying oil. So anyone who says it's not a very terrible environment that, according to this report, that they had to go through. But as the explanation previously, the young man explained, is as a result of them not obeying the agreement of them flying into Uyo. Uyo has a very good airport, I believe built by Godswill Akpabi. If he can, if he lands big Boeings and Streamliners and Gulfstream. So I think Akpabio was using Gulfstream then. And so why won't he also land their own jets? So why would they choose to go to Port Harcourt when they were advised to come into Uyo that has the facility Also, it's where they've already made provisions for them to come in. Now, to wrap this up, also the Nigerian Minister of Information had on, because again, with for fairness, not because I'm a Nigerian, but for fairness, for to hear all sides, and for the public, you that is watching me now, to make your mind as to who is at fault here for such nonsense not to repeat itself. The minister of sports in Nigeria had this interview with Arise TV and had the following to say.
Well, it was Nigeria's turn to receive the treatment that they offer to others. Can you clarify some of these allegations that are being made with regards to instances concerning other football teams that have been hosted here in Nigeria?
At this point, I believe the Minister of Sports probably was angry because the young lady that asked him this question was making reference to the video produced by the Libyans to say, this was how Nigeria treated us last week that we played in their own country. They did not pick us up from the airport at the appropriate time. They didn't do XYZ. We went on the road and we saw criminal gangs. Police extorted us money. The driver extorted us money. So hence this lady asked this question and the minister himself responded in this manner.
Okay, thank you. Let me use this very question and this opportunity to say a few things very quickly. And what are those things? I think that as a country, when we, going through what we've gone through, in the last, 48 hours, or 24 up to yesterday night when our team came back, I believe that if there is one issue that should unite this country, it is this particular issue, without prejudice to whatever biases or sentiments anybody has. I say this because I find out that as Nigerians, there are some people that are promoting the kind of narrative you've tried to put forth. And I think that is unfortunate. It's important for us to be able to be abreast properly with the facts and with the situation and how dissimilar these matters are. In a conversation I had yesterday with the CAF president, I called attention to a similar situation that, that came up. You talked about it in June involving South Africa. And I need to say this. Because the senior team national matches take place in the country in Uyo, each time any of those matches is going to take place, the NFF has always advised the country that is coming for that match that, look, this match is taking place in this venue in Uyo. There is an airport. Therefore, fly to Uyo. And each of those times, the NFF has worked with NCAA and the Ministry of Aviation to make sure that Uyo Airport is cleared for that kind of activity, landing and all of that. In the case of South Africa was themselves, they elected and preferred to land in Port Harcourt. The same thing with the Libyan team. The Libyan team was even worse off. But before I come to the Libyan team, it's important to understand this, that once South Africa landed in Port Harcourt, the NFF and the Nigerian delegation were on ground to provide whatever logistics support they needed to provide for them to move to Uyo. I recall, for example, the NFF president telling me that the Secretary General of CAF was on him back to back. He didn't allow him rest. Every little complaint was attended to, his attention was called to, and it was dealt with. In terms of the Libyan case, the Libyan national team, by the time they were leaving Libya for Nigeria, first they left ahead of schedule. They informed nobody. It was after they were airborne that NFF's attention was called to the fact that they were airborne and the fact that they were no longer landing in Uyo, they were landing in Port Harcourt. In spite of that, NFF made frantic efforts to be able to provide the logistics support they needed on landing in Port Harcourt. When they landed in Port Harcourt, NFF informed the delegation that they have cleared Uyo Airport for them to take off from Port Harcourt and land in Uyo. And the Libyan delegation told them that the agreement they had with whoever brought them was to stop in Port Harcourt and they were going to go by road. NFF had to advise them that it was late. They should wait and go by road the next day. They insisted they would go by road that night. NFF provided transportation and security. And they didn't want to use the transportation organized by the NFF, but the security was there available for them. They went to Yo. They were accommodated in a five-star hotel. They were supposed to train for just one moment, but NFF allowed them to train in the field for about twice. Even after the match, when they said they were going to return on Sunday, NFF allowed them to access to the training pitch on Saturday before they left on Sunday. Everything was provided and available. I mean, these two incidents cannot be compared to what happened to them in Libya. In Libya, they had agreed they were going to fly to Benghazi. They had started a descent. I'm sure Nigerians have seen the video from the pilot. They had started a descent, and they got a call from, according to them, from high authorities that they couldn't land. They got it diverted, without regard to the fact of whether they had enough fuel or not to fly to an airport that was about 300 kilometers away. They had no contact with the Libyan Federation for as long as that. I challenged CAF yesterday that for 15 hours, CAF hasn't been able to establish direct communication with the Libyan Football Federation. In the case of the instances of South Africa and Libya, nothing compared ever took place. Nigeria is always available and disposed to be a good host. We believe that having to, the match is played and won in the field of play, and not using underhand tactics here and there to try to cause what happened in Libya that our team was subjected to. So it's important for Nigerians to realize that when we have a common problem like this facing Nigeria, we all should unite as a people. We shouldn't be those promoting a narrative that is wrong, that is not correct, and selling it out in the public space. Now, I have read the statement from the Libyan Football Federation, and that is neither here nor there. And I'm glad that when I spoke to the NFF Secretary General, who himself was the one corresponding with the Secretary General of the Libyan Football Federation, says he has the contents of all the phone calls, all the chats, all the discussions between him and the Libyan Secretary General, Football Federation Secretary General. And all of these are available, and I'm glad that there's going to be an investigation. If any of these countries was so subjected, do they have any protest? Do they have any complaint to CAF as to their maltreatment? I don't think this is correct, and I think that we all need to understand and separate these. There is nothing that happened to the Libyan Football Federation. When they came to Nigeria, they came with, they had a mission, and they created problems for themselves. And the NFF was on ground. Every problem they created, they were available to solve for them. This is not what happened when Libya. And I think that it's important that we understand this so.
Okay. So you've just listened to the Minister of Sports there. However, see, you show this side, you show the other side. This is how the Libyans were feeling. The Libyans were sharing these photos in their own country, saying this is how we were treated. There was no bus. They don't even give us seats, and we just sat on the floor at the Port Harcourt Airport. This is Port Harcourt Airport, and if you've been to the Port Harcourt Airport, you'd actually know this is perfectly true. These were some of the team members there. I think some of them went in where the Muslim pray, and they've gone to the mat to sleep. They're sleeping on the mat, and if you see this one, this is 101% Nigerian. Reach whether you be Libyan. See as they are looking at their bags, their baggages, whether they can see something. I believe if some of them understand Pidgin, I wouldn't be surprised if our men with that NDLA cap, if they had asked them, waiting on a gift for us, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not in any way, shape, or form be surprised as the type of conversation they might have, that may have taken place. The Libyans are also, the video was trending, and it's quite funny because a lot was happening. If we go to the Libyan Football Federation, they about 6 hours ago shared a video saying that this was what happened to them. So let's see the video that they shared actually of this is the page of the Libyan Football Federation, and in this video they said the Nigerian Football Association was not satisfied with the dirty way it received Libyan national team. But even in the last training session of Libya ahead of their game, the head coach of Nigeria with journalists attended the entire session as they refused the instruction of the CAF observers to leave. Okay, so apparently by CAF rule, the Nigerians are not supposed to come and watch them where they are training. Maybe make we no go give them expo, or rather make we no come copy their training method. Their training.
تمرين المنتخب الوطني اللي
So they are
المفروض من
saying the
غير
Nigerian officials over
جمهور من غير مدرب أول. شوف هذا اللي يصور شوفوها يا رب توا هذا المدرب فوق هنا يتفرج تمارين عالم كلها في وسط الملعب. شوفوا العالم كله هذا المفروض كلها برا الملعب، هذا كله يكون الملعب ما فيش الا الوفد الليبي والفريق بس، لا مبالاة مش معدين ولا شيء. هذا هنا المدربة هذول كلهم صحفيين، كلها المدربة هنا كلها يتفرج على الحصة التدريبية اللي المفروض تكون من غير جمهور ومن غير ولا صحافة، أخاطي البعثة الليبية والفريق الليبي. هذه المعاملة كيف احنا نتعاملوا برا في افريقيا كيف. الشرطة مش قادر عليها، ما الشرطة هنا.
Watching this, digress a little bit. One must give credit to Godswill Akpabio. He was one that conceived, built, finished this stadium in Uyo. Haven't been inside the stadium, but from what I'm seeing from the Libyans, it looks nice. It looks nice. So the Wahala with the Libyans continues. The Libyans are not happy the way we treated them according to them. But is it actually that Nigerians treated them that way? Or, or maybe they don't understand the way things work in this part of the world, right? But Nigerians are saying that they didn't treat them badly. Before I leave us, see one of the tweets that they made. They said the plane was supposed to land in Uyo, but landed in another city, and they stayed there for a whole day before being transferred in a bus to Uyo. Now, the Libyans are also confirming that the plane was supposed to land in Uyo, but landed in another city. This is the Libyan football, whatever it's called, right? The question that should then detain the attention of everybody is, who made the authorization for them to move from, landing in Uyo to Port Harcourt? I think CAF should establish that whoever made that call should be punished. But obviously, I don't know the need of or the essence of scanner. I cannot understand why Nigeria in the year 2024 will still be going through people's luggage in this way when you are flying in after they have checked you. As a frequent flyer, I have never flown into any country that my hand luggage will still be going through unless when they're doing random sampling. If in America they ask you if you have any foodstuff to declare, or if in the UK when they suspect that you may have come in with something. But again, because your bag may have been scanned, spot checking. But here, everybody comes in and say, drop it on the table. Look at them putting their hands into somebody's destiny. And they can see that the Libyans, at some point, when leaving Port Harcourt, actually came down, because this is still around Port Harcourt. You can see that water reservoir there around Port Harcourt. They had to actually come down. see the police there still negotiating. So, you know, the bottom line is that these things shouldn't be. Football should be a thing of happiness. These are friendly. These are a qualifying match. It's a qualifying match that they play, and these things shouldn't be happening. Anyway, Libya, Nigeria, make una calm down. This is not political. Yesterday, I laughed my head off. Some Nigerians can, really be can be going overboard. As these things were happening yesterday, someone on Twitter were already doing a comparison of what Libya's, or how did he put it? What doing comparison of Libya's military arsenal with Nigeria. I'm like, you don't reach like this. No. This small thing on, I don't they go. They compare military hardware and this. This is what I mean. Yesterday, I laughed and I had to reply to this tweet. Look at this tweet here. This young man, I believe, wrote the following: Nigeria population 220 million. Global military ranking. Let me expand it. Global military ranking 39. African military rank second. Libya populations 7.3 million. Global military rank 79. African military rank 14. So, and I said, guys, what are you guys actually saying? You're showing Nigeria military might. And I replied, I said, just this small football play with Libya. When I don't they compare military arsenal, I beg, make una calm down. We no play again, no be quarrel. Thank God they arrived safely. So that was when I learned that they arrived yesterday. But it was really crazy. And some Nigerians started replying, I wonder, Boko Haram, they no fit tackle. Yeah? And when I read that, it really cracked me up. And one other funny thing is that they said Nigeria provided them, and here they provided them with the second. So they were referring to this bus provided by the Libyan as a Sakaba. I think the best decision the Nigerian team made was not to continue. But bear in mind, this is how the type of bus the Libyans had. They had escort, they had properly, but not that type of bus that they brought to us. Huh? And some Nigerians were basically, see, when they were leaving yesterday, like I said to us, I think if you look at the news of that airport, their value, without value is value jets. So I believe that value jets went into Libya. They evacuated them yesterday. So that's from Libya airport, getting into the plane, their value jets. So this small jet, comfortably could have landed, right? Because that's the size that the Libyans would have used, right? Could have comfortably landed in New York, but Libyans are pissed that their bags were searched, and I believe Nigerians, we can also do better the way we basically look into people's bag and the way we treat people at the airport. But again, Libya, make una calm down. No be war now. Now only game. Football is something that ought to unify people. So people, that's the much I can give you tonight. Thank you very much for joining me once more. If you haven't subscribed to this platform, by all means, please click the like button, share this video, and share in your WhatsApp groups. Like, subscribe, and share. The two things you can do for me. On that note, I say Good night. God bless you.
La 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 la.